Hello. Well, do you know, I've been like really focusing on manifesting. Manifesting. Because when you begin this journey of manifesting, you learn at the beginning that the present and the things that you don't like about the present are the springboard for your manifestations. So that means you have to be able to accept the present situation, whether globally or personally, before you can see what you want. So understanding, a further understanding for me of being able to incorporate world awareness with a life of positive thinking and manifestation. Because we're co-creating this. It's not just totally, it's not subjective, it's objective. This manifesting is that we experience from our combined interactions and thoughts, etc., is objective. It ends up with solid matter manifest that we are all observing. One way or another. Point of views aren't always going to be the same, but then so there's always a huge debate in the metaphysical world about that. You know, people will say, well, people who are manifesting are selfish because they aren't looking at wars and things and seeing, and the metaphysical environment and groups will say, you know, but you're going to create more of them by manifesting. But they're forgetting you have to see the jumping board from where you want to go from, and to see what you need to manifest next. If you're not a metaphysical thinker, then this is going to just be a lot of shit to you. You have to be somebody who understands the metaphysical nature of the universe. To be able to comprehend any of this video, you must just turn it off. So, very interesting because I find myself either fully focusing on things like the political scene, and the manipulations that are going on behind the scenes to bring about globalization and global governance. All of us, I'm either looking at that or I'm focusing on myself and manifesting my life. Come on, okay, come on then, that's enough now. Little dog, come and say hello. Do you want to say hello? Come on in, darling. We have a little puppy. Oh, God. But this poor old lady can't pick you up. Fear, darling, because you're getting too big and fat, and you've been outside because your feet are all wet. This is Sammy. Sammy and I. Oh, darling. Darling Sammy. You're a lovely boy. Look, I've got big feet. I'm going to be a bigger dog. Yes, you mean to be a little miniature one. I don't really like mini dogs. Go on, darling. Okay, go to bed now. So yeah, interesting insight. I was rushing on Boris Johnson's page. Boris Johnson's page about the arrogance of England, and if they blow up these different countries and invade, with false motives, when really the motives are 9 times out of 10 for resources or strategic positioning, then you're gonna have to put up with people's retaliation, because, you know, come on, it's the power of propaganda has the British walking around making cups of tea while all of this shit goes on, thinking their shit doesn't stink. Yeah, in a nice little London brick bedsits, exactly. Oh, God. Going down to Sainsbury's and eating their battery bread, disgusting chickens that are injected with food flavouring before they're even dead. I mean, how fucking evil is that? They've got a cheek to point at the third world countries full up breeding chickens and killing them. At least though most of those chickens are running around and have some kind of a life. The British are so two-faced. And I'm British, I can say it. Your Majesty. Your Majesty, thank you for promoting, or at least using, the premise of free speech and freedom, because it enables nutters like me to be able to open my mouth. And I know that it's now in process of having everyone shut up or too frightened to speak. But when I was brought up in New Zealand, and after our assembly where we sang the national anthem, God Save the Queen, we were always told about the fight for freedom of speech and how lucky we were to be living in a free country, thanks to the Queen. So while you're still above ground, love, I'm going to hold you to your promise and bleat about as much as I want to think of these people in these countries that get invaded and have their political scene manipulated by America and Britain. All of us, I mean, even here in Bulgaria, not that I've researched enough of a political scene to make any comment really, but I know enough about the integration into the EU. I have researched that, and its effect on Bulgarian economy, and also things like John Kerry, coming over to Bulgaria and saying that it's best that Bulgaria cuts ties with Russia as soon as possible, as far as energy and that goes. Little instigations here, little manipulations to try and isolate Bulgaria from Russia. And Russia, don't forget, saved Bulgaria from the Ottoman Empire. So even though Bulgaria is no longer a Russian communist state, a lot of people here still value value a communist way of thinking and life, and communist values, which I'm sure it works both ways. But when you're living in a country like this, and you can see how people live in such a beautiful way, and yet you hear how they talk about the capitalist system as well. Both sides of it, both sides use propaganda, bullshit, to sway opinion and keep people faithful to their bloody power and control. I mean, just imagine if you could lose all the bullshit and actually everyone got to travel to all these different countries and see what actually goes on here. In each country, the people's struggles, and you wouldn't get that, not even through TV, because everything that is produced on the TV is manipulated for political gain, for political means, which is such a shame, because when you get to see how beautiful these people are that live these simple lives in these very poor countries, and you meet people of different religions, but you see how genuine they are and how beautiful they are. Instead of sitting there with your cup of tea, love, in your council flat, paying your taxes to have all these countries and people blowing up. To get off your ass and actually go and have a look for yourself to see what they're really like, these people. To see what people are really like. And there's extremes, people everywhere. I lived in Colchester for 17 years. There were murders here every couple of weeks. They never really made the paper. They never made the paper. There were homeless people dying. I worked in a place that worked with homelessness. Every couple of weeks there was someone who died. Never made the paper. Never made the paper. Unless there was some good thing for like, to, you know, that was going to help put a few more security cameras somewhere. Then maybe it would make the paper. So was murdered in the bottom of Castle Park. There's a calling for more cameras and more, and then of course it would go on the paper. But there were plenty of people murdered, dying, and murdered by the system, like soft kill, with the way they were treated, benefits cut, etc. And a lot of them committed suicide. But anyone in that situation who's homeless and has their benefits cut and they were very ill is going to commit suicide. It's not suicide, it's fucking murder. It's murder. So it doesn't matter where you look on the planet, there's all sorts of crap going on. But you can't single out one group of people, whether it be male or female. Mind you, I tend to single out men. But I shouldn't, because every now and then there's, you know, a gay guy, or that's okay. No kidding. Yeah. And a man said to me, I am a man after all. You're not going to find a good one. I thought, well, you just said it yourself. And it's no excuse. Anyone can choose to treat people well, or choose to ignore that and do as much as they can that they can get away with. It's just that women seem to have more conscience about that sort of thing. Why? It's because the women's community doesn't support it as much as the men's. The boys' club. Amazing what you learn when you've lived on both sides of life. Dear, you don't want to know. You really don't want to know. It would just shatter your reality. Horrible. So anyway, back to this pointing your finger at minority groups or religious groups and blaming their beliefs in religion onto their behaviour. And extremist groups. I don't like extremism, but not all extremists are going to blow people up. And that's a fact. These extreme Christians, all I know that I want to do all day is pray. Pray for their glass of water, pray. You know, extremist thinking has been around since the beginning of time. It's not, and yet the people who are instigating global governance are occultists. So their ideology is also coming from an extremist viewpoint. And it's Luciferian. You can research everything. And I have researched everything. And I'm not talking about through YouTube, who have used YouTube. I'm talking about reading through all the old Freemason handbooks from the high levels. It's Luciferian. It's a Luciferian philosophy. So in their beliefs is ingrained a philosophy like the Muslim philosophy or Christian, and their beliefs of creating their heaven on earth through force and war and deception is as much extremist behaviour. So you can't get away from it. But the only thing that saves us, anybody, is human rights. And that's what I really want to talk about. Human rights. The right that gives you the right to have some shelter, some food, which has been ignored now in Britain, I notice, from them taking food and the sleeping bag off homeless people on the street. The police who spent their life licking the Queen's backside, basically, are now, can't think what is right or wrong. Could you, as a human being, go up to a homeless person and take their bags and their food off them? If you could do that, and believe you're doing the right thing, I mean, I'm disgusted to belong to a race of any kind of living creature that could do that. And they point to people like transgender people as if we're the pieces of shit. I've spent half my life covering drunks up with a blanket who are lying in the frost. So, yeah. Who's the piece of shit? How could you do that to someone? And before you judge them or make any, quick assessment of that, these people have been incorporated into a system, and after years of working with them, I can vouch for it's the system that's let them down, and in turn it's made them feel so bad about themselves because they feel like they're letting the system down. But no, the system has let them down. And now, of course, if the solution is to put them into a bedsit with no companionship, no nothing, no money, just enough to pay the bills, buy a few tins of baked beans. That is not a solution. Close down all the community centres in case they have too much fun. We don't want them coming in here and it being too nice. They might have some fun. What a nasty fucking world we live in. What a nasty fucking world. And once everyone wakes up to their ability of manifesting, there's a hell of a lot of work to be done. Because what a nasty, horrible fucking world this is a lot of the time. Anyway, fair end of Mad Tranny Rant. Mad Tranny Rant. Annoyed. I'm annoyed. And I had a spiritual person, a psychic, telling me this is not a good time, Olivia, to make any kind of political statements online because it will backfire on you. So I'm now sort of sitting here listening for a hum in case I sort of sent a drone over to Bulgaria to get rid of Olivia because she speaks the truth. The truth. And I'm watching these people watching this propaganda and taking it in. Taking it all in. Trying to work out why. And the reason why is because if they disbelieved it, that feeling of insecurity they would suddenly have to live with, of knowing that the system that they're sitting there thinking is protecting them and is so safe, to challenge that belief system would blow their little minds. And the TV gives them comfort because we've been looked after and been kept safe here. Put the jack on and make another cup of tea. Have another Valium and drop a couple of Zopiclone or something. Forget about it all. See ya. Rule Britannia. Hello, Your Majesty. She wonderful queen. The same. What are you doing watching YouTube? Get those corgis out for a walk. Ciao. Ciao.